All right, we got some stuff to discuss today, man.
For sure.
We got some stuff to discuss. It's J Maine, founder of RnBass.
And it's your favorite bald head guy, Buzy Baker. I got the fresh baldy today. You know, you see me shining.
You shining out here.
Yeah, I'm shining, man. I had to. It's been a long week.
Let's hop right into it. I want to talk a little bit about the state of R&B.
R&B, R&B, not
R&B.
Yeah.
Not R&BASS, RnBass.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's two different things. Did you guys know that? I don't think people really realize like R&B and RnBass are two different things.
Nah, not at all.
I feel like
when somebody think of R&B, they think of, okay, baby making music, love making music, the shit that you play at your wedding. That's what people think R&B is, but it's more to just actual R&B, you know?
I know sometimes I feel like I didn't do my job explaining to people what RnBass is. They kind of assume it's just R&B, like what you were just talking about. But it's actually, I feel, way deeper than that.
Nah, for sure.
Because the thing is, the reason I came up with R&Bass is because R&B really like isn't the same like it used to be. Like blues, making blues music, not a lot of people are actually making blues music. You know what I mean? So when you have rhythm and blues, it's kind of like, it's not what it used to be. It's more like hip hop driven now, right? Like a lot of the records got the auto tune, like going crazy, mumble singing, which I know a lot of people hating on and stuff like that, but I mean, it's still like fun vibes, and it's a lot of bass driven music, and that's why I kind of put rhythm and bass together, because I felt like it was much more of a good description to give it, just, you know, how the music sounds now. A lot of the music.
Because, you know, some people call it trap soul, some people say that R&B, some people say R&B, but like you said, R&B now is like way different than what it was in the 90s. Even though people trying to bring the whole 90s R&B vibe kind of back, it's still different today in 2019.
It is. I mean, the whole trap soul, you know, trap and B. You know, there's what's some more names for it? It's so funny.
I haven't heard trap and B. I only
R-
heard trap soul, R&B, R&Bass.
I heard
soul.
R&B vibes.
Oh, R&Vibes.
R&V.
R&Vibes.
See, the thing about those though is that like it could all fit into the R&Bass umbrella. That's what a lot of people are missing. Like, if you think about trap soul, right, is a pretty specific sound. It's like you hear Bryson Tiller or whatever, or maybe some older Tory Lanez or whatever. You're like, oh yeah, that's like trap soul. It's kind of like got the, you know, murky sample sound in it, and it kind of has those trap drums, and it's like, okay, trap soul. But the thing about it is R&Bass encompasses that as well. That's the thing about it. So if you take a trap soul song, it could be an R&Bass song, technically. Like Bryson Tiller makes R&Bass music, but it's a trap soul vibe.
But we call it the trap soul vibe.
Exactly.
Which is a classic album, by the way. I had to like throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? We want
Facts.
Bryson Tiller to come back and drop some ill shit, because that second album was like,
yeah,
it was there, but it wasn't there. AKA
right.
It really was not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like Bryson right now is like living life.
He just had another kid. And then he also said that when he came out with the second project, True to Self, I think it was True to Self, right? Had to be True to Self.
Yes.
Yeah, when he came out with that, he said he was depressed. So you thinking in your head like, yo, when people make R&B music, you should be depressed. That should bring out the best musically inclined gift to you, but he didn't bring it out. So
sometimes I feel like when people got life happening a lot, you know, they kind of get in their head, and they kind of, you know, sometimes they back off a little bit. You know, Bryson, I think he's a nerd, if I'm correct. He plays like a lot of video games. He's like very introverted and stuff like that.
Yeah, but, definitely.
You know, I mean, this is a guy that kind of got pulled into stardom, and he basically, you know, was in the limelight with everybody on him, you know, so it's kind of different when you're not that kind of guy and you're pulled into that world. So I can see what happened, but I think his third project, whenever it comes out, he said he's working on it. I seen it on Twitter.
Yeah, I think he was just at a show and he said something like,
yeah, he's like, oh, I'm dropping a new project, so I'm really excited for that. And Bryson is R&Bass for sure. That's the thing. But he's technically an R&B singer.
Yeah.
That's where it gets confusing.
Okay, I can see that because I mean you classify Bryson as R&B, but it's just the whole trap soul made a whole different
The vibe.
kind of way around that whole R&B, like just being classified as R&B.
But I feel like after the whole trap soul wave thing happened, a lot of people were kind of revolting to like want to bring real R&B back or whatever, you know? So like earlier this year, 2019, it's probably like 2020 by the time you're watching this, but hey, but you know, like Pink Sweats came out, and he came out crazy, and it was like a guitar song. It was a straight guitar and him singing over it.
And I heard that record and I was like, yo, who is this? Then I actually had to look it up and was like, yo, let me see this Pink Sweats guy. And it's crazy because also when you think of R&B, you got this whole image of what an artist should look like. And now,
What, like with the shirt off on stage, sweating and shit?
yeah, like with the chains, you know what I'm saying? You got your genuine kind of vibe. But now you can just literally, I wouldn't say look like a basic ass person, but a lot of these R&B artists don't have like that R&B image, if you get what I'm saying. Like you look at Ari, she's a talented ass artist, but I don't know, like all that's different. You look at her, you look at Daniel Caesar, you look at Bryson, Summer Walker,
Right.
yeah, all them.
It doesn't look like Genuine from back in the day.
It doesn't. Brent Faiyaz, everybody looks like your average regular person that's walking on the street. Not saying they average, because
it's true.
Yeah,
I feel like Ari Lennox or somebody like that could be my neighbor or something like that. Not in a bad way, but just meaning like she's very relatable.
Nah, for sure. And that's good that you said that. I think more people want the whole relatable vibe when it comes to these artists. Like they want to say, oh yeah, I can see myself vibing with, or yeah, I can see myself vibing with Brent Faiyaz, but music wise, they still relate to that because they talking about shit that, okay, I've been through that.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I could experience that. So
it's true. And like I said, R&B now is kind of going more into the real R&B realm, just because the beats are getting more towards the more natural sounding instruments and guitars and real drum sets and stuff. But I feel like there's still a lot of R&B presence in those new R&B type beats, because they're still using like digital instruments like 808s and stuff like that.
Right.
Perfect example would be her, you know, she has a lot of the real R&B vibe in her songs, but you hear something like You, that thing got a banging ass 808 in it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of these artists don't really realize that they're calling their tracks R&B when R&B exists. And I guess it's more of an awareness type of thing. Like, you just got to be aware of what it is. And honestly, not a lot of people care what. A lot of people want to be genreless. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no genre, you know? So I think Black might have said that at one point.
But a lot of these, I want to say a lot of these labels or industry people, I still don't even think they know how to classify certain artists under what genre of music they should specifically be in. You know, because they call Bruno Mars R&B. But is he really R&B or is he pop? Then what you call Chris Brown, is he R&B or is he pop? You know, Lizzo, I still don't know what to classify Lizzo as, but they classify her as what? Pop.
That's true. And it's like, what is pop? I mean, popular music, that's what pop should mean, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like such a fine line. Like,
yeah,
we understand the pop sound, like we know what a pop song sounds like, but what pop just means popular. So it technically has to kind of fall into one of those categories, right? But like you said, I mean, Lizzo is a pop artist, but technically she's an R&B artist.
Or technically she might classify herself as a rapper.
That's what I'm saying. The state of R&B right now is honestly, it's evolving like big time. And that's why, thankfully, I feel like the R&Bass name really encompasses like what that means. Let's say like an artist like St. John, right? St. John, his one of his songs, right? It has like a looped guitar in it, and the loop guitar is just got that kind of rock feel to it, but it got like trap drums, and that's like super popular right now in today's current sound, which probably will change in like 1 month, honestly. You know, the sound changes
every day though.
Every day it's a new sound in a new genre. But that sound right now though is going crazy with so many of the up and coming artists. I've even caught myself making beats like that. Like, but yeah, the whole guitar loop thing, you know, even with the Gunna beats and like rap and stuff, it's just super hot. And even using like, you know, just certain cadences and it's fun though. It's really fun. Like, I mess with that sound a lot. And still R&B though. That's the tightest thing, man. It's like, it's such a chameleon of a genre. Like, it could fit so many ways. But yeah.
So many ways, so many people. Now, is Jacques really the king of R&B?
It's funny you asked that. That's a great question. And you know what? Jacques got balls for saying that though. Like,
I know everybody talks about that a lot, but it doesn't even matter. Is Jacques really the king of R&B?
I would say that he got balls for saying that, because a lot of people wouldn't have the bravery to even say that. They would say like, I'm the shit, but they wouldn't say I'm the king of R&B. But right now, you know what, man? He could go ahead and have that title because he claimed it, and no one else is claiming it. I feel like, you know, you can't really claim something unless you claim it. You can't be something unless you claim it. Jacques, he's surpassed over 1 billion streams on Pandora, which is,
I mean, that's true, but
fire.
I disagree with what you're saying. All right, you should always be confident in anything that you say and anything that you do. We all should feel like you the shit.
Sure.
100%. But king of R&B, I don't know. I feel like I'm like gonna go back on what I just said, but king of R&B,
well,
even for this generation, that's a reach.
When he said for this generation, I think he really meant for his generation.
Because who's in his caliber? He kept saying YK Osiris. Who else?
I think
he was saying no. Who said Bryson? Somebody said Bryson. I think. Did
he say? I think people pinned Chris Brown in that discussion.
Yeah, because when we say our generation, I think we're talking about our generation, which is the Chris, the Trey, the Usher. You could say
that's overall. You know what I mean? I think where Jacques might be, he has a point where he says it's his generation, not of the whole generation. He's doing really good.
Of this generation.
I don't know if I would say the overall king of R&B all the way, but I would say that he's actually really killing shit though. And he deserves a lot of credit.
I mean, he is, but also, you know, he's doing a lot of remaking shit too. Like, at first, his whole album was not gonna be called King of R&B. So I shout out to Jacques for even capitalizing on that, because you're smart to capitalize and call your album King of R&B, because it's gonna make people stream your shit, because you already was claiming this King of R&B.
Yeah,
because at first it was gonna be called Round 2. And he also got clowned because he kind of got inspired, if you want to say, by Muhammad Ali's pictures. Like, Muhammad Ali took the pictures underwater, and Jacques did the same thing with a microphone. And it's like, bro, that don't even correlate with what you're doing. How you about to sing in a microphone underwater? It don't make sense.
I know. I've seen a lot of people like loving that picture and capping on it too.
Yeah, nah, that wasn't it. And then it was just the whole LMA thing. I would say personally, his song was better than LMA's Trip. It was a vibe.
It was.
It definitely wasn't. And the reason why people really don't give Jacques his credit is because, one, Jacques still sings like he's like in the early 2000s kind of with the whole E, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. Also, I can listen to Jacques music because I bump it, but some people can't,
right? Because
of the whole E thing.
There's some factors there, like, you know, Jacques is using auto-tune. Real R&B singers technically don't use auto-tune, right?
You think he use auto-tune?
I mean, everybody does.
I don't think he uses.
It's just not like
much.
Dialed all the way up.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of like put back a little bit.
his album wasn't bad. I mean, my favorite song in the album is Facts or Fiction. Like, that's the best song that shows what Jacques is. And instead of, you know, the all remakes and all that. But even him on the features, like, he was on Fab's Summertime Shootout. And that's one of the best records on that whole project.
Yeah, I mean, I like when he came out with Feel It in those early records. I feel like he had like some type of voice that was like it just resonated. It was really unique, and I still think he got a super unique voice. But
it's because of the ease. I mean, we can't even lie. When he dropped Beg, even though that was a remake, that shit was fire.
True.
And then I wanna be in my BED.
Yo, I mean, the argument is gonna be there, and we're talking about it right now. So obviously it worked. I don't see anybody else claiming it. And
I mean, the king of R&B of my generation, and it's probably your generation too, is Chris Brown.
I won't argue with that.
I'll give it to Chris.
But
I could give it to Usher, but I'll give it to Chris.
I would say I agree. But I will say, but who's the king of R&B though? That's what I really want to know. Who's the king of R&B? If you know who the king of R&B is, just drop it in the comments right now. But I mean, we're
that might be Usher.
It might be Chris Brown though.
It still might be Chris.
It might be Justin Bieber. No way.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
wow.
We're gonna have to talk about this again. But like, comment, subscribe. It's R&B. Let's get it.